What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be checking out a new knife from Artisan Cutlery. Let's jump into it. All right, we got the Cleo in today. A very cool micro knife. I don't know, maybe mini's more appropriate, but I feel like this is a micro knife. You got titanium with a button lock. I believe the hardware is titanium on this as well, which is really impressive. Upside down, JD. Nope, steel hardware. Just kidding. That actually would explain how you can get that price on this one. Titanium pocket clip with thumb studs, S90V in a modified Warncliffe blade shape. I'm able to get 4 fingers on this, sort of. So there's a caveat with that. You can get it all the way up to the in between the first and the second knuckle very comfortably, which is going to be great for opening packages. And that made me curious, how does this one cut? Because it feels like it's got a really thin geometry. Down in the garage, I tested it on camera and on the catalog paper, and nice factory edge. Artisan does a nice job with that, so kudos to them for it. Going through the cardboard, just a little bit of cardboard. Very slicey geometry, guys. This thing has a laser beam for a blade, and no surprise, with this blade shape, the detailed work and pinch grip work extremely well. You can get very good leverage, very accurate and detailed work out of it. So very happy with that overall. And as far as the level comfort, a little small, guys. It's the combination of it being so thin in the blade of the handle and then being really small. Like my thumb takes up too much of the blade's cutting edge, so I gotta really kind of choke back, and I'm in this really awkward position when I'm holding the knife, so just a little uncomfortable for me in that regard. Button action is good on here. Feels pretty stout, honestly, for that plunge lock. Feels like they're starting to approach that wee Civivi level of stout on this particular version. Sometimes I feel like with their button locks, like this one feels really good. Could be that it is a small blade and there's a decent sized button on it, so there's probably a lot of grip happening with it, whereas with my Echo, I feel like that's more of like a medium detent. It's good enough. If you rip it, you're able to flip it open, but it doesn't feel particularly stout. On the Cleo, it definitely feels stout, and you definitely can tell there when I went to flick it originally, I skid off of the thumb stud a little bit. They're a little smooth. I think the milling probably could go a little bit deeper on the thumb stud, and you would notice it would be a little bit more grippy, but it's not awful. Still works. You just got to be cognizant and make sure that you get under that thumb stud. If you kind of hit on it too high, you'll slip off of it. All in all, though, I like this little guy. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, though, because I want you to see just how mini this knife really is. All right, on camera, we got the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight on top, which I consider to be a full-sized EDC, and then you have the Devo Fireball on bottom, which I consider to be a medium-sized EDC. Pretty obvious, right? This is a mini. We'll do a couple more because I have a smaller knife here that I think will also kind of help you. All right, guys, we got the Tempest designed Kubi Supercell on top for our full-size knife comparison, and then we have a small knife with the Kaiser Nice Guy on the bottom, and I think you can really tell this is a mini, very compact knife. What does that translate to as far as the weight? I don't know. Let's grab the scale and find out. All right, we got the scale, and I grabbed it by the power button, so it's cut on already. Let's just check to see what the Cleo comes in on the scale with. So coming in at 2.4, I am curious to see how that compares against the small Nice Guy, which has steel nested liners, steel standoffs with steel hardware, and a steel pocket clip. So there's a lot of steel here. I would expect it to be still relatively close. Coming in at 2.3 for the larger knife versus that 2.4 that you have on the Cleo. And again, just for reference, to show you the difference in the size here, That just goes to show how good of a job they did with the small knife from Kaiser. Really lightweight. Both have one means of deployment. Obviously, the Nice Guy is going to be much more affordable. It's like a $50 knife, whereas the Cleo, which has S90V and titanium but has steel everywhere else, coming in at 150, if I recall correctly, on the website. Let's go ahead and wrap up with some final thoughts and impressions. If you're not familiar with this channel, and you're tuning in for the first time, I evaluate on a scale of 1 to 10. 1's the worst, 10 being the best. 7 is usually where budget knives cap in at. This would fall into the premium because it has the steel and the titanium handles, but they do cut corners a little bit in order to keep the affordability down, so they have steel standoff and hardware everywhere else. Having said that, I am at a where am I at this one? The ergos pull it back a little bit. I wanted to go high originally, so I think I'm going to go 6.3 on this one. Very solid, above average score. Not the best that you've ever seen on this channel, but it's just because it's a little too small for me, whereas with the Nice Guys I mentioned earlier, you got the taller handles in there, so it does feel a little bit more hand filling and you got a little bit more thickness. I think what would have helped with this is a little bit more height on the handle, but two, I think contouring the scales would have helped fill it out a little bit more for me personally. But if you have small or medium hands, that might not be as big of a factor for you. Good ergos, a little tight up around the choil. You know, this is just a package opener, loose string cutter, get into your mail type thing. Not meant to be hard use, just something that you can discreetly carry. You could probably even throw it in a fifth pocket or a pouch and no issues whatsoever. For the ladies out there with the shallow jean pocket, this is going to ride really nice in that for you. And I think if you again have them small to medium hands, this is going to work really, really well. Build quality is nice. Detent good on here. Button action works really good on here. So all in all, very solid offering, especially at the price with the materials you're getting. I think the party piece here is going to be that S90V. That is really what takes this over the top for me. Going to be really, really good with edge retention for EDC, and that's a positive thing. Let me know what you think about the Cleo down in the comments below. If you're not interested in this one or have anything to say about it, just shout out and say hi to me. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets. Any of that is appreciated. Love conversing with all of you out there. Thanks for watching to this point. Hit the like. Links are down below. It helps the channel. They are affiliate links. And special shout out to my channel members, man. I love you guys. I'm out of here. I hope you have a fantastic week, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Peace.